Hey guys, it's Max. Thanks everyone for being here. Let's do a quick end of day update. We'll see how everything finished up. Which is now WDTE, which I'm not going to be able to get used to. The reason I know that is because all my formulas broke. I was just going to keep calling it JEPY, but I can't. They're going to make me because they changed all the references. But anyway, whatever. These guys sold options. They made 263,000. Look at the month they've had. Other than losing 73,000, look at that. They've won every other day outside of 3 other days. So that comes out to about 85 cents a share positive, $2.23. Estimate for the dividend, triple QI. Look at all this green. Getting tired of winning so much. Getting tired of it. Look at this. We won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the past 7 days. And that 7 days ago, that was only a $16,000 loss. So basically, that's more like a push. It's more like a break even. First serious loss we had was like 15, 16 freaking trading days ago. All right. Well, it's been a hell of a month. These guys are up $1.43. Dividend estimate $2.48. Let's look over here at WMY. Okay, IWMY. These guys made 583,000. Now they haven't had as good of a month. It's been pretty good, but they've had a little bit more volatility in their returns. But they're up 2 cents a share right now on an earnings per share basis. The dividend estimate is $2.70. USOY is killing it. They're killing it. They sold this option. They're going to try to make $195,000 by the end of the day tomorrow, and that takes them to 60 cents a share. Great job, USOY. $1.03 on the dividend estimate. All right, so here is the index buffer report. So it's every index versus its parent asset. So here's SPY-T versus SPY. Here's JEPY versus SPX. Here's JEPI versus SPX. You can see SPX is up 40 bips. So SPY-T did well. JEPI did well. They both lagged a little bit, but they did well. FEPI did all right. AIPI did all right. Really, your standout over here was QDTE, and it shouldn't surprise us. There was a gigantic gap up, round hill profits from morning gaps or overnight gaps. In the bullish direction, they get penalized for gaps in the bearish direction. Compared to Defiance, not really penalized, but compared to Defiance's strategy. All right, so YMAX is also killing it, and I bet that's ULTY. Sure enough, ULTY killing it. YBTC just murdering it, as is MAXI. USOY is the only thing that's really pulling back. All right, now let's get over here into the YieldMax universe. Let's see. SMCI and SMCY just absolutely got killed. BABA, I guess the Chinese government is printing money. They turned on their printing press, their Feds letting it print that money, just let it rip, right? Anyway, so the Chinese stocks are blowing up. Look at this. Amazon pretty much neutral. AMD had a great day. Now, AMD rolled their options. This is an example of, and there's lots of examples, but this is a great example of when call spreads are working. They their last call spreads worked for them, and then they rolled to these call spreads. I just put them in this morning. Not the yellow ones. Gosh darn it. Oh, here they are. Yeah. 8 million. Look at this. Man, these guys. They're up 8 million, and they're just hitting the shelf, what I call the shelf, which is the part of the return profile where they don't make any additional money. The thing is, that's an expiration that they don't make any additional money. Right now, their profit and loss graph looks like this. So if they keep going up Monday, their profit and loss graph has a little kink in it, but it's not too flat. It basically, they keep making money just like stock does. And then you watch, before it flattens out too much, they'll roll to the next week. And I bet you that's their plan. And I just figured that out. That's the genius of these call spreads. They've essentially hacked the system where they're trading stock, which means they get it's just like they're trading stock, but because they barely have any give up when they roll early. You can see that's there's an area there where they make a teeny bit less than stock, but nothing like in the old days. When you had a covered call. Nowadays, even at the worst, even if you hold expiration, there's a shelf. The shelf is basically your give up. In the old days, that's all there was shelf. It's a giant shelf. All right. Anyway, it's a great time to be an investor. It's an exciting time because you can get income, and you can also root for upside just like you would in regular stocks. Okay. So that's that AMD trade. Let's see what else in the Yield Max universe. I have some other Yield Max trades right here. Here's the Apple trade. We can see how their shelf is going. They still have a ways to go till they get to their shelf. So they've sold the 235 and they bought the 240. So that's what it looks like at expiration. If Apple goes up and then it goes to here, you're going to have an opportunity loss compared to if you would have had stock. What I bet you these guys do, like I say, is they'll take it to about here, and then they'll roll it into the next week. And yeah, there's still a little loss compared to stock, but not very much. These guys have essentially hacked the system. All right, so I have some fun trades in here too. I don't know if you guys seen any of my fun content. I put some meme trades in there on DJT and GME. But anyway, if you haven't seen that content, go watch it. Those trades are just for fun. They're like you risk 70 and you might make 4, 5, 6, 700, something like that. They're like long shot lotto type plays, just for fun. All right. So here's a nice one on this AI stock. So I talk about the shelf. They're right at the edge of the shelf, but they're at the good edge of the shelf because they're at the edge where they're about to blow off. Like I always say, that's the edge of the expiration shelf. They're really, by tomorrow or something, by Friday, by tomorrow, it's going to basically look like this. Then they'll roll into next week. They'll never really they won't be penalized by the full shelf. I bet you that's Jay's plan. I didn't realize that last time, but so next time I have him on, I'm going to talk about that. Talk about this, how he's essentially got the system hacked. It's like you're trading stock with all the benefits of trading stock, just damn near about, other than that little kink in the thing right here, all the benefits, but you get like a 20% income in addition. There's hardly any give up. Unlike covered calls where there's a ton of give up. Okay. Let's see here. What else? AMD, we've looked at that. AI, we've looked at that. Here's the Facebook trade or Meta trade. You can see they have some work to do before they get up here. But the other side of this trade is as long as they don't drop more than 1% tomorrow, they'll make something, and that's good for something too, right? Okay, so other than BABA, MSTI and MSTY, Coney, and AMD, they have call spreads in Coney also, of course, and they're killing it. Let's look at the Coney chart. Of course, we're not going to look at the Coney chart. We're going to look at the Coinbase chart. Now, I have the two call spreads they have. They may have rolled these out. Like I said, I haven't got the latest stage trades in there yet. They probably rolled this out, but things are going their way. You're just rooting for higher prices when you do call spreads. That's what they're getting, because this is a daily bar. Look at that. That's the bigger bar than we've had. I don't know, probably than about, other than, it's the biggest range we've had in a while, and it opened on the low, closed on the highs. You know, it's definitely bullish for right now. It's almost outside the Bollinger Bands. We'll see if we can get outside of the Bollinger Bands and then start momentum that way. But you know, that remains to be seen. Or if it's going to be a fake out like it was up here. We got outside and then stayed outside for a couple of days, and then petered and ran the other direction. So we'll see. We shall see. Okay, so yeah, Coinbase is definitely the Coinbase and MSTR are the best ones to have. Look at this one. Now, MSTR is an example of getting outside Bollinger Bands and getting momentum. 2 closes in a row outside. Now they have another close outside and a gap up. So, boy, that's something else. That's a call buyer's dream right there. I mean, if you would have got it the first day it got out. I always get it on the days it goes out and then it peters out. But anyway, you want to try to catch these right here. It has to close outside the Bollinger Bands once before it can close outside multiple times. Big key. Big key. Use 1.6 on the Bollinger Bands. Don't use 2. 1.6 is part of the secret. 1.6 standard deviation on the edge of the bands. You want to bring the bands in a little bit to show what I'm trying to show. All right, guys. Well, it looks like a pretty successful day in the market. I mean, it looks like no matter what you had, it was up a bunch. Now, look, I had one other thing. I know I always say that. Yes, this. All right, this is some of the main S&P based high yield funds that I track, including the volatility based ones, which are the most volatile. And this ZIVB lost almost a quarter of its value in what was that, August. It lost as much value as the market did during Black Friday. I mean, but anyway, it bounced back. It goes up a lot when it goes up too, but it's the most volatile. And THTA kind of got hammered, as did SVOL. They recovered nicely. They're great funds, but I also follow some of the standard ones that I kind of like more, and I think you guys like more. Like, look, there's XTTE. You guys love that one, and that one was leading the way back in August, and we had a bunch of gap ups, and this one profits from gap ups and profits compared to other high yield funds. Okay, then the market pulled back in early September, and every fund pulled back with it. It got all of them. And ZIVB was back down 10%, which is that, the really kind of risky futures, VIX futures fund. But anyway, but then from there, we've had a really nice recovery. And, in all the individual stocks, the less risky ones pull back. I always say JEPI is probably the least risky one. The one, if you could only buy one of them that you would probably want, JEPI, if you could only have one of them, it was only down 2.1%. Anyway, they've all fired back and they're all up. Look, FEPI, people like that, T-SPY. I need to get old Cy from Tap Alpha back on here, but it's doing well. They're all doing well. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow.